We got an 86 K10, and we came across the Hellcat crate engine, the 937 horsepower.
Isn't that the Elephant?
Yeah, that one. Naturally aspirated, 3 kits, and we're going to put it in.
This is the one with the 18-speed manual transmission, right? 16-speed manual transmission?
Allison transmission.
Oh, yeah.
And the transfer case is a 05 Honda Accord red.
Front-wheel drive.
Front-wheel drive.
Yep.
12 spline output shaft, new seals, and we just kind of painted it, and we're going to put it together and see how it does. It should make somewhere, it should run like 7s, low 7s, I think, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting.
Should be pretty good.
No. Hello everyone. I'm at my buddy Tanner's house. This is his 85 K10 he's been working on. We've been working on it a little while, as you can probably tell. Chassis is already pretty much done. We're getting ready to set the engine and transmission transfer case in it today, but we thought we'd just do a little quick video on this and talk about kind of what he's done. It is a budget build, so there's a lot of the original parts on here with things that have been updated for his own personal touches, like a little bit of a lift kit, and then just maintenance. And just to make it a reliable vehicle mainly is what he's up to. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've done to this, Tanner?
Yeah, so it's 85 K10. I bought the truck here locally, and it was pretty well complete and an original kind of unmolested truck, but it had a bad tranny. It had a cracked windshield, it was missing trim.
A little bit of body damage.
A little bit of body damage, the door was caved in. It was...
You know how many miles were on it about?
I think it had like 120,000 miles
on the odometer
truck. But it was an original paint truck, had the factory cat still on it, which was weird. It had the factory dual front shocks on it, some...
305 engine.
305 engine was the downfall. This thing had a 208 transfer case that we're putting back in it that's been gone through. It was a pretty solid truck, but it needed everything. So I originally...
What do you mean with maintenance? A lot of maintenance.
A lot of maintenance, yeah. To get it back to be a good drivable truck.
So let's talk about what you bolted onto this thing and what's still factory on it. Okay? So it's sitting pretty high.
Yeah.
So how did you get it this high? What did you do to it?
So I put a 4-inch rough country lift system on it, which is the front and rear springs, no blocks, with their shocks and all their hardware and stuff.
So all these factory locations for mounting the leaf springs and stuff, that's untouched, original stuff.
Original location.
So the 4-inch kit gets it up pretty high then.
Yeah, as you can see.
And what size tire is that? Is that a 31 or 32?
It's a 33 1050 on a 15-inch wheel, factory wheels.
Okay.
But when we rolled this in here and started working on it, you could step over this pretty easily.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many times I've drilled my knees into these working on it or walking around it. So it's significantly higher. I think we probably got 7 inches out of the rear and 6 at least out of the front.
But what a lot of people don't realize too is that these old trucks, the leaf springs are sagging and tired. So you're getting 4 inches of lift because you've got fresh new leaf springs and suspension on here, but that's also that 4 inches of lift is from what they think the factory position would have been.
Yeah.
If your truck's high miles, carried a lot of weight in the back of them, your old leaf springs are probably sagging down there anyway. So between going from old saggy leaf springs to new 4-inch lift leaf springs, this looks significantly higher than it used to look.
That's like a lot of guys when they lower their trucks and they say, oh, I'm going to buy a 4-inch lowering kit, and they lower it and it's an inch taller than it was.
Yeah. So what did you do to the differentials? Are they all factory? Did you put new gears in them for the tire sizes or anything, or what did you do to them, Dee?
Yeah, so 33-inch tall tire. This truck came equipped with 373 gears from the factory. So I left those gears in there, just completely disassembled front and rear diffs, inner and outer seals, bearings, and brakes. So end to end, hub to hub, both axles have been completely rebuilt in factory style.
But left the factory gears and carrier in place.
Factory
They were in
gears
good
and
shape?
carrier, and decided to use the factory, I'm assuming the factory, the bearings were in good shape in the diffs. So I just left those in there with intentions of either rebuilding those if I like the gearing, or why I didn't rebuild them now is I didn't want to put new bearings in something I might not use the gearing in.
Plus it being a budget, you're trying to keep the costs under control,
Yep.
you know, and you don't know what you're gonna like exactly, leave it alone, right?
Yep.
So the front, did you have to, because you've got the cross steer on this, so you actually have a two-wheel drive steering box on the front,
Yep.
and then you have changed over, did you have to change the whole knuckle on the passenger side to make the cross steer work, or?
Yeah, so basically you eliminate everything on that driver's side knuckle, which originally would have the mounting location for your hook style for your drag link. So you eliminate that by taking it off. I got a kit from Sky Off-Road Design.
Yeah.
And it uses their knuckle and then their machine part, which is basically a mirror image of the driver's knuckle with the 3 holes in the top. In the way it mounts is fairly similar to the factory. So it basically moves that arm out there to where you can run a new drag link above your spring now instead of under, over to your gearbox and use their Sky's drop pitman arm also. And then that adapts to two-wheel drive gearbox. So it's same year, 85, but you take the four-wheel drive gearbox off, switch over to two-wheel drive gearbox. So,
Very nice.
yeah.
All right, so what do you got here?
So this is all used stuff, but it's all been rebuilt and gone through.
Again, budget build, right?
So, yep, budget build. We got, this was a GM Performance block originally. Tore it all the way down.
But this is a 350.
350.
You didn't reuse the 305 that was in there.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Nobody really wants to put the money into a 305, so if you're gonna rebuild an engine, might as well go with the 350. So I found this one. This was the second one I bought for this truck. It was a little bit better. It had a set of Vortec heads that came with it.
Craigslist or Marketplace?
Yep, Craigslist, pretty good deal. Had to drive a little bit to get it, but went and picked it up one evening and brought it home, and here it is.
And then you stripped it all the way down and did a little
Yeah,
overhaul
so
on it.
It's got the Haverly overhaul, as we call it, but beside just cleaning it up and gaskets, it's got new bearings all the way through it, new cam bearings, a new crane cam kit. It's a hydraulic flat tappet, so new lifters, new camshaft, new cam bearings, factory length push rods. The heads, like I said, were Vortec heads. I did take those apart and lap the valves in them. We took out the press-in rocker studs and did updated, drilled the tapped and threaded in rocker studs so we could run a higher lift cam, which this cam I believe is 473, 474 lift. So it should be a little bit better.
You know what this is going to make power-wise? 300 horse?
Yeah, I would guess
350.
probably 350 horse, something like that.
Okay, so what about the transmission? This is something that you got from where? Local purchase then, because it had the 350 in it?
Yep, local purchase, so decided not to rebuild the 350, wanted the overdrive. So found a 700 R4. Actually, you know what? I had this 700 R4 prior to even having this truck. We talked to our transmission builder, same guy you've been using, and he said he could convert this to full drive. So this is a like early 2000s Corvette two-wheel drive transmission that he took the tail housing off, different output shaft, and rebuilt it. Otherwise, essentially, servos and stuff like that are still Corvette style servos. So the torque
So it's
converter,
got a shift kit in it, basically.
a little bit. It's going to be
But it's four-wheel drive now.
a little beefier, and it's four-wheel drive. And Jason suggested actually using the factory Corvette torque converter, which is a little higher stall. I can't remember.
2200 stall.
So it'll be a little bit better with the cam and stuff that I have in here. But again, it's not a hot rod. It's going to match up a little better though for the compound.
So this is 100% rebuilt, brand new, fresh, ready to go.
Yep.
What about transfer case?
Transfer case was out of this truck. It's the original transfer case. It's a new process 208. I dropped this off with Jason at the same time. He basically just blew it apart, checked stuff out, make sure it was good, not gonna grenade, resealed it and sent it back to me.
So all the driveline is rebuilt, engine's rebuilt,
Yep,
fresh, ready to go.
Yep.
And now it's time to set it in here.
yep,
Here we go.
let's do it.
What is this? Hey Tanner, why does this truck have an orange engine, a blue transmission, and a red transfer case?
Shut up, Dan.
Oh, sorry. All right, engine, transmission, and transfer case are all installed. Tanner, what's next? Everything?
A little bit of everything, yep.
Won't be long. Cab going on pretty soon before you start a little metal work, or what are you doing there?
Yeah, so next step, probably the next couple days, will be building exhaust. So mount headers, build exhaust, hang mufflers, all the way out the back, true duals, and then we'll probably do a little driveline stuff, finish up some vent lines, and then this will get shoved over and we'll start body work on the cab.
Nice.